both MEPI students from AUC, and we're here to represent about the MEPI program. Well, first of all, I feel like everyone is asleep, and kind of don't like that. So, okay, now show of hands, who is AUB in here? Wow. Who is AUC in here? Oh my God. Oh, they're all outside? That's not a good thing. Well, I was about to say like AUB and should like say AUB and AUC and should like say AUC, but obviously AUBs will win. So let's just like go over that. Okay. First of all, we're all very glad to be here in the Civic Engagement Conference to represent the MEPI students from AUC. And as Mohammed has actually like first introduced what the MEPI program is, now I'm going to introduce what the MEPI program made me today, who I am, Chada, that actually is standing in front of you. First of all, like MEPI always encourages the engagement in all student activities and all kinds of student activities. Well, whether they are actually like on campus, outside campus, we're required, it's one of the requirements to be engaged always in the civic engagement, in charity, in representation, student senate, student government, anything, any kind of those activities. And I reached a point where actually one semester, I was like engaged in more than 7 clubs or something, taking 18 credits as well. So that was really huge. Like I was the president of MAL, Modern Arab League Councils, president of Maghrebian Union Club, and we co-founded that club as well. I was the president of Microsoft Tech Club, which is actually more about technology since I'm computer science students as well. We did a lot of things. I was a copy editor in AUC Times Magazine, which is actually all about the news. And one of the summits we had also is this summit, which is the Arab Youth Summit. It was all like Palestinians, Arab, Libyans, Algerians, all over. So what's more about the student activities is that actually that's the small circle that brings you outside. So we all know that actually we're here in the university. Why? To be prepared for the stage which comes right after, which is a career, you have life, you have whatever, all these stages right on. So this university is the place where it prepares you to go outside. And I found AUC the perfect place to do that indeed. Well, representation versus charity, MEPI encourages both, and it gives you all the resources to go for both as well. However, because I actually, for myself, I found myself like more comfortable in representation. That's why I was more involved like in student senate and student government. And I'm like now actually reached a point where we have some kind of power into like even the student clubs, and we are the ones who are responsible about allocating the budget for all the clubs of AUC. Charity, I was involved in charity as well, and we had a lot of events in Cairo with all the NGOs and all of that. Both of them which actually impacted me in a very, very, very deep way. Again, one of the requirements of the MEPI as well is that actually you have to have a volunteer internship, and this internship should be like between your sophomore year and your junior year. So now, like after spending 2 years in the university, you have what it takes to go outside and implement what you have learned inside the university. Well, my first volunteer internship was first in my country. I went back to Algeria in the summer, and I decided that this is the time to show the people in Algeria and basically in my community that the youth themselves can do something. Not just only something, but a great thing. It was actually the perfect moment to prove, because I know in my community people are still, or the youth themselves really, they're not still that engaged. So I was like, we have to change that. In a certain way, in a way or another, that's the perfect time to change it. We went, and that summer, the whole theme, we had like an intensive campaign, awareness campaign for volunteerism. It was called, as you see here, Tatawwa. Tatawwa, which is go and volunteer. Well, the 3 months intensive the 3 months intensive program was all about like having creative ways to say about how like volunteerism can impact you and impact your society as well. So we had flash mobs, we have actually like something in the public, having plays, we had like some actually partnership with NGOs, and the final event was at the youth and International Youth Day, which is actually 12th of August, and we had a lot of media there. And at the end of the day also, like we have received a very positive feedback that it was indeed impactful. Because why? Because it was coming from the youth themselves and to the youth. So the message was easier to convey and was easier to be perceived also from the youth. The second internship, which is the second requirement from the MEPI program as well, is to have an internship between your third year and your fourth year. So now you're actually more prepared to have more or wider impact in your community. And I chose it to be in India, in Taj Mahal, as you see here. So what we did in India is basically something like Africa Hope. It was a refugee, it was a camp. It was a camp for homeless people and homeless students. And those students they don't really have the quality education they need. That's why we were there to you know how like we have something that's called tat'im. Like that's the thing. We're here like as students or as teachers just like for a very short time, but it is indeed impactful and effective because you're just giving them a hint or you're giving them just a glimpse about the outer world, about what's going on, about something different than actually what they are used to. And this was indeed really impactful because education is the strongest weapon in the world. So if you're educating them well, we gave them English, music, and all of that, but still education, but in a different way. Okay, so in India as well, I had the privilege and the opportunity to have to participate in the Young Change Makers Conclave, which is a conclave for young change makers organized by the United Nations, headquartered in India, in Delhi. And we had the privilege to meet with the Prime Minister of Kashmir and to learn about the conflict there between the Indians and Pakistanis and all of that. So this adds also to your value and adds also to your understanding of the world and what's going on over there. And even if there is a conflict, then you have a perception or a different view of what's going on. One of also the volunteerism activities that I had is this humanitarian convoy to Gaza. So this is where the AUC students decided that actually we're going to have now to do something different and collect our donations and go there and donate those donations. It was really inspirational. And the one thing I learned from that is that no matter what you think, that you have some difficulties and your challenges in your life, there is always someone who are having greater challenges and greater difficulties. Yet they're insisting on actually pursuing their path for life, for their own goals. Gaza was inspiring. The last part of the MEPI program is the semester abroad, where you go to the US for 1 semester, for a month. It gives you, again, a different perspective of civic engagement, a different perspective, a cultural exchange. All these enriching things, you can find it as well, like wherever, you always build on your experiences and build on your cultural exchange until you reach there. At the end, I would like to say that civic engagement through the MEPI program and through this scholarship specifically, which is called Tomorrow's Leaders program, is really a power to be unleashed. Because when you're helping others, and we were saying yesterday, when you're helping others, at the end of the day, actually you'll find out that you're helping yourself to be better. Now, Chada that was there before 4 years ago is not the same that actually is here today, 4 years later on. Thanks to the MEPI program, I have a power that was unleashed, and now I'm actually impacting my society, and I'm thinking of my society in every step I take in my life. At the end of the day, whatever you do for your society, you'll find out that you're doing it for yourself as well. Thank you so much.
I want to say something real quick. Yeah, just a quote. Sorry. There's this quote that I really admire. I wanted to share it with you guys. It's by Margaret Mead. She was an American anthropologist. It goes, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We can be the change, and we will be the change. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor to any questions for our AUC students. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions in the audience? Tony.
I want to know if Chada is running for office in Nigeria.
I think we all vote for her already. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'd like to invite now the landscape architecture class from AUB.